Good morning, students. Welcome. Today we are going to start with the second unit after alkaloids, and in our phenyl, propanoids and flavonoids, which includes lignans, T and Ruta. So we have to study here about phenyl propanoids and flavonoids. What is their structures and what is their applications in various pharmacokinetic plants presence and its applications, and then we will go in slight details about lignans, T and Ruta. There are many flavonoids and phenyl propanoids presence in the plants. If you want to go in detail, we have to go. There are many medicinal plants are available, but still we have taken according to the syllabus. So now you can see that is we are just coming to give the details about, as I told now, flavonoids. Already we know flavonoids are present in most of the plants and it has many medicinal applications and uses. So we are interested to know about its chemical structure and nature, and to know it. See, for example, whenever we are studying some subject, there is some reality for why the pharmacist is studying all these things, because in the future, see, now the whole world is finding difficult to find a drug or as a vaccination for COVID-19. So we see our contributions are more important. That means, so if you have a knowledge about the basic knowledge about what is the existence in this world, the nature, what all available, what is its the availability of chemical structure, constituents in the nature which is given by God, it is possible for us to identify for any type of solution, any type of disease which may come and threat like this. So we need some basic knowledge about what all the chemicals, natures which are present in the nature and how it can be give application for the various ailments. So see here, the flavonoids come under the classes of phenolic compounds. Already we have come across these phenolic compounds in the basic metabolic pathways, and we are now coming to details about them, some examples. And the phenolic constituents are present in vast group of plants. Phenolic compound consists of at least one benzene ring. Otherwise, you know that phenol we should have C6H5 with OH, so it should have at least one benzene ring with one or more hydroxyl groups. If it is having one or more hydroxyl groups, if there is many hydroxyl groups, one hydroxyl groups we used to say it is phenol, and it is in multiple phenolic compounds. Even say, so you can see in tannins there will be many OH groups are there. They are also linked with flavonoids. So you should have an idea there should be one benzene ring with minimum of one OH group or more OH groups can be present in them. Though they are present in glycoside or with sugar, they have aqueous solubility. Generally they are located in cell vacuoles. Phenolic compounds can be categorized in the following groups, and what all the groups is listed out. Phenolic propanoids, that means a propanoid, propane, 3CH3C carbon atom aliphatic compound will be attached with the phenolic compound. That is what we have to have an idea. That is always whenever you are studying a chemistry, you should have an imaginary picture should come in your mind side by side. Then it will be easy for you to study. Phenols and phenolic acids, flavonoids, flavonol and flavones, xanthone and stilbene, anthocyanins, quinones and tannins. As I told, tannin also comes under in this phenolic compounds because it's also having many OH group present in the benzene rings will be available. So now you see phenyl propanoids are naturally occurring phenolic compounds which contain 3 carbon side chain attached aromatic ring, that means benzene ring. They are biosynthetically derived from phenylalanine. That is, you have studied phenylalanine as an amino acid which is an aromatic amino acid which is produced through the cyclinic acid pathway. We have to remember what is the basic metabolic pathway. What all the studies we have done before, it should come in your mind, and which contain or more C6, C3 residues. That means hydroxycinnamic acid is most widely occurring compound which provides binding blocks of lignin and growth regulation and disease resistance. Hydroxycoumarins, phenylpropanes and lignans or other phenyl propanoids existing in this category. Generally, 4-hydroxycinnamic acid named as ferulic acid, caffeic acid, para-coumaric acid and that is synapic acid are found abundantly in nature. So we just watch the structure which is mentioned before me, because just we have to make it clear about the structure of the hydroxycinnamic acid. So cinnamic acid structure, first we should know about cinnamic acid, and then you can see that is hydroxycinnamic acid. Cinnamic acid is benzene with CH double bond CH, C double bond OH, that means COOH. That is cinnamic acid. That means normally benzoic acid with one in between, that is CH double bond CH. If it is there, then it is cinnamic acid. So basically cinnamic acid structure you might have studied in your chemistry. So this is hydroxycinnamic acid which is having more responsible for you to remember here, because most widely occurring compound which is the building block of lignin, growth regulation and disease resistance. So you have to know about this hydroxycinnamic acid structure. So and then this is produced from phenylalanine, which is an aromatic amino acid which we have studied already. So aromatic amino acid means which undergo what type of pathway? It undergoes cyclinic acid pathway to get the aromaticity. So that is what this understanding you have to think, and you can write very clearly, and then they get separated and detected easily on paper chromatography because they produce blue and green fluorescence under UV light. What I mean by this paper chromatography is an important chapter for you to study now in this pharmacognosy and chemistry. Everywhere you will be studying chromatography, which already we have discussed. That is, chromatography is a technique which is used for separating of mixture of compounds. So whenever you want to isolate some compound from the natural source, it is necessary for you to separate them or isolate them and to identify them by means of chemical structure. So in that case, they are told very clearly by their research work, it can be easily identified by paper chromatography. And how it can be identified? It can easily give some color variations or colored identification which produce blue-green fluorescence when UV light falls on them. So after developing a paper chromatography, you can just take them to the UV chamber and you can identify them by means of color visibility. So other 6 cinnamic acids are well known, but they are rare in occurrence, like isoferrolic, orthocumaric and paramethoxy cinnamic acid. See the structure which I have drawn here. It shows R1, R2, R3. So which will be substituted to cinnamic acid? This, if it is that is hydroxy cinnamic acid, if it is substituted with this OH in the R2 para position, then it is paracumaric acid. The R2 and R3 is with OH, then it is called as cafic acid, and R3 is with methoxy group and R2 with OH group, then you can say ferulic acid. And if R1 is methoxy and R2 is OH and R3 is OCH3, that is methoxy, then it can be said to be synaptic acid. So you can see that is paracumaric acid, cafic acid, ferulic acid, synaptic acid. This all can be derived from a simple structure. One student, if he knows hydroxy cinnamic acid structure, so it is necessary for you to know the simple structure of cinnamic acid and remember what I said. It is very easy. That is, benzoic acid means benzene with COOH. Cinnamic acid means benzene, that is C6H5, CH double bond CH COOH. Only CH double bond CH you have to remember. Then you can write very clearly the cinnamic acid. So simple to remember. So why you are studying this very clearly? Because they are the basic units for all the lignans, flavonoids, tannins, everywhere it will be coming. That is why we are just coming through this one. And also propane derivative of phenolic compounds, it needs this structure. So now we are coming to hydroxycinnamic acid occurs in plant in combined ester form. First, what do you mean by ester form? The basic chemistry, always it should come into your mind. Then it will be easy for studying any type of advanced chemistry or cognosy. Advanced chemistry, it comes in cognosy, is a plant chemistry, and even basic chemistry. When you know only, you can come to the advanced pharmaceutical, pharmacognosy or medicinal chemistry. All advanced chemistry. Basic chemistry, you should have the knowledge basically very thorough, not mugging up. You should know the basic chemistry, then you can just get into this type of advanced chemistry, will be easy for you. So you see, hydroxycinnamic acid occurs in plants in combination, combined ester form and yield by mild alkaline hydrolysis. So what do you mean by ester? Ester is always RCOOR. That is the basic formula you might have studied. RCOR means it is, you can say, ketone. ROR means ether. RCOOR means ester. RCHO means aldehyde. Like that you might have studied many formulas and many basic functional groups in your organic chemistry. So here we are going to form in ester form. Ester is always formed from an acid and an alcoholic compound. When they join together, you will get an ester. You might have studied in your organic chemistry. Production of esters, it will give fruit smell. By means of an alcohol and an acid, they join and they will give RCOOR. So here caffeic acid, the structure is a caffeic acid. How it is formed? It is found in ester form of quinic acid and chlorogenic acid. So chlorogenic acid and quinic acid, they are esterified. That is, quinic acid, you can see there is even OH groups are there, 4 OH group and an acid group is there. And chlorogenic acid also you can see 4 OH group and a side chain and also with one carboxylic group. So these two acids, when they link together with an acid and an OH group, by removal of one water molecule, or we can dehydration, or that is when you removal of one water molecule, you will get a linkage of RCOOR as an ester form. That is what we have written there, very simple chemistry for you to remember. And the flavonol glycosides are thereby A-glycan are known as flavonoids. So they occur in nature abundantly and widely distributed throughout in higher plants. Flavonoids are one of the biggest class along with phenyl propanoids, phenols and phenolic quinones. The most common flavonoidal constituents are rutin, quercetin, citrus bioflavonoids like hesperidin, naringenin and dosmin, etc. Rutin and hesperidin are commonly known as vitamin P or permeability factor, which is used in the treatment of capillary bleeding and capillary fragility. Flavonoids are generally the compounds which gives color to the plant, are responsible for the plant pigmentation in the fruits, leaves and flowers. The yellow pigmentation of the plant is responsible for various flavonoids like arones, chalacones and yellow flavonols or flavonols. So these all are the compounds. So flavonoids present in the higher plants are responsible for giving color to the plant, pigmentation to the fruits, pigmentation to the leaves, pigmentation to the flowers. This is what the understanding which you should know. And before that we have also mentioned about hesperidin, naringin and diosmin. These all are most commonly available flavonoidal constituents. They are also bioflavonoids which is present in the higher plants. And now we are coming to the classification of flavonoids. In classification of flavonoids, number 1, anthocyanins distribution, that means where it is present in the plants. If you see that scarlet red, mauve and a blue color pigment which is present in flowers, leaf and other tissues. Proanthocyanidins, colorless, leaves or woody plants and heartwoods, they are present. And flavonols, colorless, co-pigment in cyanic and acyanic flowers, leaves. Flavones are present as flavonols in the plants. Glycoflavones are present as flavonols in the plants. Biflavonols are present in colorless combined by gymnosperms. Chalcones and arones are present as yellow pigment in flowers and other tissues. Flavonols are present as colorless mainly in citrus fruits and leaves. Isoflavonols are present colorless seen in root and Leguminosae family. These are some of the classification which gives some details about the presence of flavonoids in the plants and how they are distributed in them. And now we are coming to biological property, in which flavonoids are polyphenols are also well known from their free radicals scavenge activity, which is found under different conditions. Flavonoids also acts as enzyme inhibitors. For example, histidine dicarboxylase inhibits the naringenin or quercetin. Flavonoids are also useful as anti-allergic, anti-inflammatory, hepatoprotective, maintains blood cholesterol level, diuretic, antispasmodic, antiviral or antibacterial. Some of them inhibit the growth of tumor or anti-cancer activity. One of the important activities of flavonoids is viroactivity, which means the decreased permeability of capillary and the fragility. Due to this important property, it is also termed as vitamin P factor or P factor, permeability factor. So this we have already discussed. P factor, vitamin P, they can be denoted as flavonoids. So very important applications of plant material we can observe from these flavonoids, like it is used as an anti-allergic, anti-inflammatory, hepatoprotective, it maintains blood cholesterol level, and diuretic, antispasmodic, and it is also antiviral or antibacterial effect is also there for these flavonoids. And how to extract them from the plant, it's a general extraction method. There may be variation according to the monograph. For individual plants, it will vary according to the researcher and according to the monograph given in the BP, IP and USP, whichever the pharmacopoeia which we are following. And you see that plant materials are taken, extracted with boiling water, crude extract is obtained, and then you are adding lead acetate. What for you are adding lead acetate? To remove the tannin. Tannins are removed in the form of lead tannin or lead salt. Then they are filtered and so that the residue can be streamed off or thrown off for the further study. And the filtrate is taken, collected. And first you add water and second acidify with HCl. That means you have to dilute HCl. And then boil for few minutes or few hours, sorry, not few minutes, few hours. Precipitate of sugar-free flavonoids and flavonoids will appear and add alcohol for extraction. Now you have to extract again and purify the compound, the purification of the compound by means of using fractional crystallization or by recrystallization of organic solvents like you can use benzene, carbon disulfide and alcohols etc. can be used. And characterization of purified compound, characterization by using various techniques. Just we have mentioned one line, but various techniques of spectroscopic method. What do you mean by that spectroscopic method? UV spectroscopy, NMR spectroscopy, IR spectroscopy, mass spectroscopy. Like that there are many spectroscopic methods which can identify, characterize the structure of the compound. So isolation is not only the important process, characterization, identification, elucidation of the structure is very important for our subject. I hope you can understand. Can you follow this? Follow properly and read once or twice. If you don't understand, read twice. Then you will get into it and you can find different, you can do miraculous things. You can do research in this stage. You can find drugs for many type of ailments. You can find the chemical structures of the naturally occurring plants. You can identify the plants which is available in your nearby houses, nearby garden, whatever available. You can think about that. It has some medicinal activity. Why can't I can work on it? You can go for the work. Nature is provided by the God and man have to identify them. What is its uses? So these all are one of the bit of points which I am telling you to inspire you to do miraculous things, to do innovative things which will helpful for the society. Now you can see the chemical test. Chemical test for flavonoids. You can have first one is Shinoda's test. How you can perform upon addition of few magnesium turnings and concentrated hydrochloric acid drop by drop to the test solution. That means already taken test solution of your flavonoid or your isolated compound or isolated extract amount, and a pink, scarlet, crimson red or sometimes green to blue color develops after some time. This is an identification test. And next, alkaline reagent test. When few drops of sodium hydroxide solution are added into the test solution, first sharp yellow color develops, which upon addition of dilute acid becomes colorless. The change can be given identification for the flavonoids. And number 3, zinc hydrochloride acid test. A mixture of zinc dust and concentrated hydrochloric acid is added to the test solution. It develops red color. After some time, it will develop. So this gives you an identification test. Very simple for you, 1 or 2 times. If you have a hints, you can write down and you can note it down and study. And now we are coming to the compound lignans. So the term lignan was first introduced by Hayward 1948 to describe a group of polymeric, you will say dimeric, only 2 compounds, polypropanoids, where 2 phenyl propanoid molecules are attached at central carbon atom 8, and there is 2 annular 9 groups will be there, because there will be 9 carbon atom, but 8 carbon atom is attached and the 9th carbon atom becomes free methyl groups, annular methyl groups. You can see the structure, chemical structure. AA shows that phenyl propanoid unit, a benzene ring with 3 carbon atom unit, that means propane. So phenyl propanoid unit A and B, you can see the 2 phenyl propanoid units are joined together in the 8th carbon atom, and 9th carbon atom is become free methyl group. Very simple. That is ligand structure. That is ligand structure. So ligand structure is formed by dimeric form of a phenyl propanoid unit. So most students should have any doubt to write an example in the answer paper. Phenyl propanoid unit, 2 phenyl propanoid unit can be joined together and give a ligand structure which is a dimer form, dimeric form. Very, very simple. Make it simple for the study. It's not a very tough job at all. Chemistry is an interesting subject. So lignans are a subgroup of non-flavonoid polyphenols. They are widely distributed in plant kingdom, being present in more than 55 plant families, where they act as antioxidants and defense molecules against pathogenic fungi and bacteria. You can see this structure. Once you have to write down, and so that you can remember what is the dimeric form of phenyl propanoid, and which is called as lignans. What a simple definition. What an energetic definition. What a reality definition can be given by the student. And lignans, when you want to, again the description, when food containing lignans precursors are consumed, they are converted into enterolignans in our body. What is the use of that? They are enterodiol. They are nearing to the estrogens. They are nearing to our hormones, and enterolactone by bacteria, and normally colonize in human intestine. So enterodiol and enterolactone have weak estrogenic activity, but may also exert biological effect through non-estrogenic mechanism. So that is very interesting. It has an estrogenic activity, but non-estrogenic mechanism, it gives you a very interesting action. So this point also very important point for the students should know. It gives estrogenic activity by coming through a non-estrogenic mechanism of action in their mechanism of action, pharmacological mechanism of action, non-stereogenic, non-estrogenic action, because enterodiol and enterolactone can mimic some of the effect of estrogens. Estrogens, very important hormone present in humans. Their plant-derived lignans precursor are classified as phytoestrogens. So you should know that why we are going to study, why we want to know about lignans, how important, what is its chemistry behind, what is its therapeutic effect, what is its medicinal activity. That is why we are giving some importance to study about this phytoestrogens. Lignans precursors that have been identified in human diet include pinoresocinol, lariciresocinol, secoresocinol, metyresocinol, and others. You see the structure, the chemical structure of estradiol and estrolactone. They both are very simple. Estradiol, that is intradiol, not estradiol. Intradiol, two phenolic groups. In their metaposition, they are joined together by means of, you can see 1, 2, 3. That means there is 4 carbon atom units which is having OH. They are having OH in their top. So it is very simple for you to remember, like how the ligands, they are produced from that is propane attached with a phenolic compound to dimeric form structure. Just before we have seen that the dimeric form of the phenyl propanoid units will give you a lignan. So here also the same thing, only thing is OH group is attached, and that is entradiol, and entradiol is converted into entrolactone by means of the 2 OH group, are made into 5-membered lactone ring, which you can see very clearly in the structure. So students, when they are knowing about the basic structure, how it came as a lignan, you can easily write this structure also. Can you follow me? Very important. Make it easy for studying the structures. And lignans can be found in more than 70 families of vascular plants and have been isolated from different plant parts, exudates and resins. Biological activity of lignans are antiviral, anti-cancer, anti-prevention, anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, antioxidant, immunosuppressive, hepatoprotective, osteoporosis prevention. You see, a variety of biological activity is present. So it is very important for us to go into the study of any type of lignans. And now we are coming to an example also which is available. Podophyloxin. Not going for all examples, only few 3 we are just taken as an example. Podophyloxin is a naturally occurring aryl tetraline lignan, is one of the most important compound due to its high toxicity and current use in local antiviral agent podophylotoxin, obtained from plants of genus Podophyllum, family Berberidaceae family. It is an mitotic toxic whose derivatives have been used in chemotherapeutic agent for cancer treatment. And food rich in lignans, the richest diet source is flax seeds, that means linseeds, which is also very commonly available in the market, which we are using for when foods also we are using, and contain mainly secosolar resinosol, but also laringracesinol, pinoresinol, and metyresinol is a good quality. They are also found in sesame seeds, which we are very commonly used, gingerly oil, which is prepared from sesame oil. Sesame, which is very commonly, we are using in Kerala very commonly, sesame seeds. The whole grains, that is also very, very important nutrition and gives more energy to the people. So you see, this type of normal food itself a medicinal property which gives energy, which gives an immune power to the human being to resist any type of antigen comes to them or attack any type of virus even. So you see, this is a plant. Just I have taken a picture to show you. Podophyllum peltatum, a common name, mayapple, ground lemon, and family Berbereaceae. And you can see the plant Indian Podophyllum flower also. It looks like China, but it is not China what you are using in Kerala for many type of curries and fries and which we are using. And it also has many medicinal property, but this is the leaves looks like them. But you see, just to make you to understand, it is not that one to show that the rhizomes of Podophyllum will be like this, not like this very big, which we are seeing normally. So that's what the Podophyllum. And about Lignum mositatism is the botanical source of linseed, which is commonly called as flick or linseed, which is also available in the market. This is not the sasems, yellow is different, and this is also used for, this also swells very fast, which can be used for various purposes, medicinal purposes, is an example for the flavonoids, which is the lignans which is present in them. And this is the Sesamum indicum is a flowering plant in the genus Sesamum family Pedaliaceae. So this plant is very small plant which can be easily cultivated in our garden or in our soil very easy, and they will give you seeds which is white and black. Sesame seeds are also available in the market, which we are using for various purposes. Various foods are prepared by means of, and also the oil. We used to use this oil for preparing because it has many viscous oil, very good oil for various purpose, medicinal use. And sesame oil is very common for very much, somebody is having more heat in the body and boils which is coming, they used to use sesame oil and they will take bath. And also sesame oil is good for using, that is ginger oil is good for food preparation, good for health. It's little bitter when compared to other oil, because in Kerala we are using coconut oil more, but sesame oil when you use, it's good for health, and it is also very commonly available in the market, and some of them are now started using sesame oil instead of coconut oil. Now we are coming to tea, very common. And this is very interesting to know about. Most of the students who is from Idiki and many other hilly area students, they know about this cultivation. They know about how they are doing, what all the varieties which is available. So when I explain, it makes you more interesting to listen to it, I hope. And also you can add more things what is available in your nearby area, how they are preparing this tea, how they are blending the tea. You can go and observe. You can go and observe the industry. You can go and observe how they are plucking it. You can go and join them and you can find out what is the size of the leaf, what is the shape of the leaf, the process which will give you more idea, and it will be interesting for you. Even the pharmacists are more interested in that, and you should know about the technology as well as the constituents which is present in them, how they are more important for various application of various difficult ailments, various difficult virus diseases which are on, also how they are useful. The plants are having variety of applications in various ailments. So tea, when you see synonym for the tea, that is Camellia thea, biological source or botanical source. Tea contains prepared leaves and leaf buds of Thea sinensis, Lin is the scientist, and family Theaceae. And you can see that geographical sources. Tea is cultivated in India, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, China and Japan. In India, it is cultivated in northeast India, mainly in Assam and Bengal. South India in Nilgiris, Palani, Annamalai Hills in Tamil Nadu. Kerala, wide area in Idukki district, and in Karnataka state also they have more cultivation. And northwest India in Dharadhan, Alvora, Garhwala district in Uttar Chandal and Kangra village and Mandi district in Himachal Pradesh. These are some of the geographical sources. Cultivation and collection. The tea is available in two forms. And there is another one form is there. That is why I just lifted like this. There is another one. Extra is there, but two forms are mainly. Black tea, green tea. Black tea is available in India and Sri Lanka, whereas green tea is available in China and Japan, and even in India is also available. But black tea is obtained by fermentation of fresh tea leaves, which further dried artificially. Green tea is obtained by keeping green leaves in copper vessels and then dried artificially. Tea is a dried leaf of bush which contain thein, which gives cheap and stimulating drink. Upon adding, what is this thein? Thein is caffeine. We are telling about caffeine only. Understand? Upon addition of boiling water with sugar and milk. So tea is a common important beverage crop in India. One more type, as I told, when I told it is types like this, I told, sorry, not like this, like this. So three. One is additional sometimes. One more type of tea also available called oolong tea, semi-fermented, produced in Taiwan. Understand? So there is some variety. There are many varieties other than this. Different types of varieties they are producing with blending, adding flavors. So there are many companies are there which they produce attractive advertisements to make the people to purchase the tea leaves. Tea is having many preparations are there. The basic requirements for the cultivation of tea leaves are deep, light, well-drained, acidic soil, pH 5 to 8 to 5.8 to 5.4 or less, humid climate with annual rainfall 100 centimeter, altitude 2100 meters above sea level. Temperature is in range of 21 degrees centigrade to 21.9 degrees centigrade is ideal for its cultivation. Tea is shade loving plant and it is developed more vigorously when planted along with shade trees. And propagation. Usually propagation is mainly done by seeds, which is sown in germination bed and develop saplings are transplanted into the open fields. The garden or field is regularly hoed and weeded. This hoed and weeded means, what do you mean by hoed and weeded? Hoed and weeded means you can see something you have to make it plowing, make it the soil free enough to the ground so that you have to weed. That means you have any other plants growing, removal of weed. There are many instruments for removing them, plowing them and slowly make the soil comfortable for growing and with energetic leaves. And better quality of the crops will be obtained. Pruning. Every time you have to pruning should be done. The picture which shows pruning plant, you see, there is pruning stem You have to just pruning. After every time, pruning should be done time to time for maintaining proper shape of the tea bush, and also it will be easy for collecting the plant by the workers. The yield can be increased by using of nitrogenous fertilizers like ammonium sulfate. Tea does not favor water logging. Water logging is not favored. That is why we used to keep some slopes like area in the hilly area as preferred. So tea does not favor water logging because roots of the tea plants gets leached and deteriorated, spoiled, deteriorated. Hence it is grown in hilly area where water drains out easily. Slope area where the water drains out easily. The tea leaves along with buds are plucked as shown in the figure, how they are plucking out by the skilled labor, preferably female laborers, and dried by artificial method. Tea needs to store in heat, light, air and a moisture proof packing to remain fresh and mold free, bacteria free. So this type of protection should be taken while storing them. This is just to show you a processing of black tea process which you can see nearby your houses, because most of them from hilly area, the high range students, they may be knowing nearby how they are processing. If you are not visited, please go and visit and know the things, and it will make you more interesting to know about what I am something which I know something you will get when you see, observe, when you do something in practical. So here first withering, then comes to fermentation, then comes rolling, breaking, sifting, and firing. Firing means not burning it, just heating, warming, removal of water, and then grading and sorting, and then it should be packed, and then it can be stored as we are told, from protected from the mold and bacteria and the moisture, or it can be transported as shown in the picture. And what is withering? Withering means after collection, that is a process, initial process, just doing by the hand or by means of a machine in the first processing step in the factory for black tea production. During this process, the fresh leaves and the condition physically and chemically, they can be physically and chemically, they are made into ready for the process, and subsequent processing steps are being from the moment of the leaves and picked to the time, and roll and maceration can be gone for it. And is the firing I just gave, sometimes there is a picture there in the previous slide I showed firing, so students should not think that we have to fire the leaf. No, firing initiate the final drying process. It is a word which is used for drying process. Once the leaf is oxidized to its desired level, we apply heat to the tea leaves to halt the oxidation process and further reduce the leaves' moisture content so that the leaves can be stored without spoiling due to the presence of moisture or due to the development of mold which can deteriorate them. That can be avoided by means of this firing technique or drying technique. Preparation of green tea now, that is preparation of black tea and preparation of green tea. The freshly collected leaves are exposed to air until most of the moisture get removed, and then it is roasted directly, no fermentation here, and stirred continuously so that the leaves become moist and flaccid. Flaccid, that means removal of water, that is called flaccid or flaccid, you can say. These are passed through rolling tables to make rolling balls and should be moisture free. The leaves are shaken and roasted in copper vessel. The leaves turned dull green in color, and the leaves are winnowed, that means blowing of current air through them, that is called winnowed. The leaves are winnowed, that means blowing of current of air, fast air, smooth current air, force of air pass through the leaves, screened and graded into different varieties, and it can be transported or it can be go for the marketing area. And what I mean by, now we are coming to the macroscopical character. Everybody knows, you have seen these pictures, not in the pictures, you might have seen the most of the students who are from high range, you might have seen near to your house, and you may be having this cultivation even, most of them having the estate or maybe, so you can go and observe. The cultivated tea is small evergreen shrub which is 1 to 1.5 meter in height. The wild plant are up to 6 meter in height. The leaves are dark green in color, lanceolate, elliptical, blunted at apex, serrate, hairy, glabrous in nature. So this is about the leaf we are telling. So you should know what is lanceolate, what is elliptical, what do you mean by blunted at apex? What is apex? If you know apex, then only you can know what is blunted apex. Serrate, hairy, small hairy, trichomes will be there, glabrous in nature. Read and understand your botany basic. Flowers are solitary in nature and generally in the group of 2 to 3 leaves axil it will be there in the flowers. It possesses characteristic odor and bitter taste. What do you mean by characteristic odor? Most of the time in pharmacognosy you can see characteristic odor, characteristic shape, characteristic odor. What do you mean by characteristic? Characteristic means special characteristic. No other plants are having. It's having a special characteristic. It's having a special characteristic odor. That is what it is. That is organoleptic character when you want to say it is written like that. Chemical constituent which is present are, you know that caffeine is present in tea, and you can see the structure, very simple for you to remember. They are purine derivative of chemical structures. They have caffeine, they are xanthine derivatives. Purine means, you know, that one 5-membered ring and one 6-membered ring will be there. And 6-membered will also have 2 N group, and 5-membered will also have 2 nitrogen group. So that is called purine. From purine you can see if there is 2 double bond O's are present, then it is called xanthine. So you can study all the things from the basic, please. Once you store purine, if you put in the 6-membered ring 2 double bond O, you will get xanthine. And if you give substitution of methyl group in the 1 and 3 group, then it is called theophylline. And in 3 and 7 group methyl group, then it is called theobromine. If you give all the 3, that means 1, 3, 7 except 1 nitrogen is left, then you will get caffeine. Very simple. So you should know that substitution where it is present, you can just draw the structure very clearly and you can explain that it is an purine derivative alkaloids, and they are formed as xanthine derivative, and you can see 1,3-dimethyl xanthine is theophylline, 1,7-dimethyl xanthine is theobromine, and 1,3,7-trimethyl xanthine is caffeine. Very simple to remember. Understand? Tea leaves contain caffeine 1 to 3%. Theobromine, theophylline, a trace amount are present, and they are bronchodilators. So that when you drink a tea, a strong tea, you will get relief from the asthma, and also congestion or in the bronchus muscles can be relaxed, so that the person will give free breathing, relief, and also stimulation will take place. So that's why tea will give a relief for an asthmatic patient. They will ask, hot tea please. So you can see that a traces of amount of theobromine and theophylline are present. Gallotanic acid 15% and an enzyme mixture known as thiase also present. And the color of the tea leaves are due to the presence of gallotannic acid. Caffeine is white powder which is odorless and bitter in taste. When practical, we have to do the isolation of caffeine. You will make crystals can be made, you can find out. We can get the powder. And it is weakly basic in nature. It has freely soluble in water, alcohol, chloroform and ether. Caffeine is an example of purine growth of alkaloids which gives positive Mirexide test. So the structure already I have explained. You can see all the three structure. They are, caffeine cannot give normal test which we have seen in alkaloids like Mayer's test, drag and drop test, Hager's test and Wagner's test will not give positive for caffeine because they are they are alkaloids. So you can say proto-alkaloids, so which will not answer. They will answer, but they are alkaloids because the nitrogen is present inside the ring and they have alkaloidal character, but it will give a special chemical test. Mirexide test can be easily seen. So how to do Mirexide test? Chemical test, Mirexide test. Take caffeine in a petri dish or in a china dish. You can say china clay dish also can be used, or you can say a clay dish, a white clay dish. Porcelain dish, instead of using the word china, you can use porcelain dish. Take caffeine in a petri dish and add hydrochloric acid with potassium chlorate. Potassium chlorate, very rare chemical. If it's not available nowadays, so we used to do something potassium chloride, but potassium chloride will not work out. You need potassium chlorate and heat it up to dryness. Make it dry. Make it dry. The residue should be dry by means of keeping in the water bath. And then the residue is exposed to ammonia vapor. Just take the ammonia bottle, open it and just show this because it is already dried. This one you can show like this. One side you can keep the ammonia bottle and the petri dish or the porcelain dish which is dried substance, just show it. Vapors, when it falls on this dried residue area, what will happen? Purple color develops and disappears. You have to observe immediately upon the addition of alkali solution, and upon the addition of alkali solution it will disappear. Any alkali solution, sodium hydroxide or even ammonia solution, if you add, it will disappear. When caffeine is treated with tannic acid solution, it produces white precipitate. Even tannic acid adding, caffeine will produce white precipitate. That also can be observed. Uses, everybody knows, tea is used as a central nervous system stimulant and as a diuretic. It increases urine output. Caffeine process cerebral vasoconstrictor action. Hence, its use is CNS stimulant. Caffeine is also uses in migraine. Give along with ergometrin tartrate. Caffeine can be given with ergometrin tartrate. It can relieve migraine. It has a stimulant effect. So combined with migraine, ergometrin, which you are using for migraine, can be given along with a tea or a coffee or a caffeine. Now we are coming to the next example, Ruta. Ruta is a plant, Ruta graverensis and Rui. Hereby grass, you can say garden Rui can be called, and biological source or botanical source, it is a perennial under shrub which consists of dried herb of Ruta graverensis, family Rutaceae. Geographical source, it is an indigenous to southern Europe and cultivated in Britain and in India. You see the picture, it is a yellowish color. flowers, which we can see even in our roadsides, which we are not identified but not always everywhere like Senna, if we cannot see, but this is also seen locally, even we can identify, especially in the riverside and channel side, where water area, irrigation area sites, it used to develop. Cultivation is also done because it has more use, medicinal use. It grows well in well drained in any variety of soil, but prefers rocky and dry soil. It needs full sunshine to grow well. It is drought resistant and needs very less watering. Care should be taken during handling of plant because the sap, what do you mean by sap? Sap is a fluid which is present in the xylem of any plant, and it will come out to the human being. It will be irritating. It is often irritating and the leaves burn like rashes on the people's skin. So rui can be harvested and used in the houses as insect repellent. It can be used as an insect repellent. Simply cutting the leaves and dry them properly, then keep the dry leaves in a cloth bag and place them wherever need to repel insects. The insects will run away. So you can use it as an insect repellent. Find out this plant. It will be available near to your house. Just find out and make a sample, herbarium, prepare a sample and make yourself. Now you have lot of time. Your free time is lot. So why can't you do some innovative examples, whichever you are studying in this plant you can collect. Whether it is available in my nearby house, collect it. Prepare herbarium, bring it to me. It will be and show me, and you can keep it in your home. That is very important. Prepare herbarium, write the details, very good drawings, write the procedures, write the what is the use of it, what is the chemical constituents present in them, which is available near to my home and which is useful. So these type of things students should inspire. You should have the interest to do it. Kindly do it. It will be available near to your house. So it can be used for repelling insects. I have given the definition for sap. Sometimes sap means what we don't know. So sap is a fluid transporting the xylem of any plant's vessels, element or tracheids or cells which is present in this near to the xylem, or phloem, sieves, tubes, element of the plants. They are sap, a liquid which will cause. But the sap of this plant causes irritation to the human. So you have to find out this plant. It's easy. I have given the flowering tops to identify this plant. You can see this plant even identify, and you see there is some software also is available in the Android mobile. There is some software which you can download plants, and when you take a photograph and it will give the botanical name, whether it is right or wrong. You can identify yourself by means of your Android telephone. You can use it. You can use that plant software. There are many are there. Identification of plant, garden plants, botanical name, and you can just take the photograph. In the internet they will identify which type of plant and what is its botanical name. You can identify, take it, keep the name and prepare an herbarium please and do it. And while coming to the college, you bring it to your herbarium. I have done this in this lockdown time. I have achieved this. I have identified this much of plants which is having medicinal use, which is growing nearby my house, which is nearby my garden. You can just make it yourself as something I have done for the society and something I have done for my Creator, what He has given. He has given lot of knowledge for each and every one. He never prepared, He never sees any type of discrimination between people. He prepared everyone in the same manner. He sees all the creation in his own loving creation. So try to understand, we are not utilizing it to how to use them. how to make them, how to make others, my brothers and sisters, to give the knowledge and to share it. You share your knowledge. It's not meaning that only money can be shared, only helping can be done by means of money. No, your knowledge can be shared. Your knowledge can be utilized, and it can be utilized by the society. Please use it. Don't be idle, or don't be, what we can say, just sitting there. Oh, I cannot do anything. Don't be depressed. You can do many things, miraculous things, innovative things. You are developing area. You are the person to do the things, many things which is available. Instead of thinking about flying things, what is nearby, find out and do better and save this mankind. See these macroscopic characters of our plant. It is an erect, globrous herb which is about 30 to 40 centimeter in height. Its leaves are bluish green in color. It is characteristic and strong aromatic odor and pungent taste. Flowers have green yellow color. Fruits are sub-cylindrical, which is brownish green in color and rough on external surface. Chemical constituents: it contains glycosides, alkaloids, volatile oils and fixed oils. Rui contains rutin, soralin, bergactin, gravelin, rutarin and naphthohernarin. Rutin is pale yellow crystalline compound which belongs to flavonoidal glycoside category. The alkaloid like rutalinium, dictamin, rutamine, rubalinium and 1-methyl, 2-nonyl, 4-quinoline. 4-quinoline. There is a quinoline derivative of alkaloid is also present. Quinoline are present in this drug. The fixed oil which are present in the drug are linoleic, stearic, palmitic acid. They all are stearic, palmitic and linoleic acids are present. Where a volatile oil or linolene, cineol, ethyl valerate, methyl salicylate, caryophyllene and myrcene is present. How much compounds are present in this plant, you just imagine. And these are very, even volatile oils are present. They have insect repellent capacity. So you find out this plant which is present in our area. So you see what are the presence in their compound? Very easy. Don't forget this structure will be very complicated. No. You have to see that soralin and bergactin are same, only a double bond. That means when it is dehydrogenated or dehydrogenated, soralin will give bergactin. You see there is an lactone, 6-membered lactone ring with benzene and one 5-membered lactone ring. 6-membered and 5-membered lactone rings are present in this structure, and 6-membered will have a double bond. 5-membered there is no. And then when it is dehydrated, one double bond increased, automatically you will get bergactin from soralin. And then you see what is the structure of gravelin. Gravelin is two structures. You can see there is one is a 6-membered, 5-membered lactone ring with the benzene as a substituent and to an quinoline alkaloid. So quinoline derivative, that is why we written that 4-quinoline, 1-methyl, 2-nonyl, 4-quinoline. That is the drug, that is graveloin, quinoline derivative of alkaloid, that is graveloin, you can remember. Rutin is simple, what we have studied about which is connected with a glycosidal linkage to glucose molecule. That structure which is shown is 2 glucose molecule is attached in a O-glycoside linkage to the routine structure. Routine structure is having, it is a glycoside, there is no nitrogen in between the compound inside the ring structure. Is having a catechol structure which is attached with a lactone ring with a polyphenolic compound. So that you can just remember, and that is routine is the main constituents of glycoside linkage, which is connected. You can have the other structures like soralin and brevactin, how they are interlinked, how they are dehydrogenation will give you, that is the hydrated, when you are hydration taking place, and you will give interchangeable structures. And gravolin is an that is quinoline derivative of alkaloid is also present in rotin or rui plant. Uses of this plant: it is used therapeutically and capillary protectant, therapeutically as capillary protectant, antitussive, spasmolytic, immunogogue. Immunogogue plants are many are there, and this is also special immunogogue. What do you mean by immunogogue? Means it is a very important application for women to induce menstruation. Apart from the menstruation, when there is not proper menstruation, and also disorders, menstrual disorders, most of the women will be having apart from pregnancy. So in that, to induce the menstruation, we can use these plants. And in certain disorders, due to sometimes hormonal disorders, also sometimes it causes, most of the females will have this type of difficulty in menstruation, can be given by these plants. And it is mainly used in liquid extract form or infusions. Rui extract are mutagenic and hepatotoxic in nature. Its large doses can cause gastric pain. You have to be very careful. Large doses, overdose is always causes gastric pain, vomiting, systemic complications, and even death may occur. So you have to be very careful. The dosage is very important. And it can cause severe photodermatitis upon exposure to Rui herbal preparations, which results in burns like blisters in the skin. And allied drugs also available, that is Paganum harmala, known as Syrian Rui. This is also available. So anyhow, I have just made this one is just to show you this slide I have given. Sometimes students may be knowing what is immunogogue. Is most of the herbs, there are many other herbs than this Rui. That is and immunogogue means are herbs which stimulates blood flow in the pelvic area and uterus. Some stimulate menstruation. Women use immunogogues to stimulate menstrual flow when menstruation is absent for reason other than pregnancy, such as hormonal disorders or conditions like oligomenorrhea. So this will help these plants. So anyhow, thank you very much for being patient to listen to my lecture. We'll see you in the next class. Thank you.